What is up, sexy people of the internet? It is Dave, it is Duncan, back from Metal Epidemic for another album review. For this review, Duncan and I have been checking out the new album from UK riff slingers Monolith. The band's new album, The Price of Their Heaven, will be released on December 5th via Nightmarcher Records.
Is it safe to say hardest working band in the UK?
Fucking goddamn right, man.
We may want to set the scene for anyone that may have not come across Monolith. They've made us the hardest working reviewers when they released 3 albums in the space of a calendar year.
Yes, it did, yeah.
Like massive, sprawling, increasingly heavier albums. And you know what? I thought 2025 has arrived, Dave. You know what I mean? And Monolith will be killing their jets, spending all that bank that they made from the platinum sales of the 3 previous concept albums. You know what? They'll be resting up. And Dave said, absolutely not. Duncan, I know we're almost out of this year, but have I got a little early present for you? Slipped under my tree. Under my tree and up my skirt.
Yes,
kilt.
And in 2025, Monolith continue to redefine what is considered possible for a metal band as they show a versatility never seen before in their 6th studio album, The Price of Their Heaven.
Could they be the King Gizzard of the metal genre? Could they be?
They might be, yeah. That is a really good selling point, Duncan, actually. Yeah, they might actually be. This is an ode to melodic hardcore and hardcore punk. ? The band from Devon and Cornwall add another chapter to their discography spanning narrative, this time detailing the world in ruin prior to the wrath of the Monolith god, which ultimately sets forth the events in their previous 5 studio albums, No Saints, No Solace, Sancta Trinitas, and the 2024 trilogy of The Hornet's Nest, Lord of the Insect Order, and The Black Cradle.
Do you remember there was a moment in The Black Cradle where it got so fucking low, Dave?
Yeah,
it got so low that like both of us. Let's. I think medically it's now clear that we can say it. Our anuses prolapsed. Collectively at the same time.
Still receiving treatment.
Synchronized. My asshole went inside out like a windsock. Flapping in the wind, Dave.
Lower than the Titanic, Duncan.
Maybe too soon for that one, Dave.
Too soon? It's been fucking...
Maybe too soon, Dave. Well, let's not make jokes of the Titanic here. I'll not have that. Not on my watch.
Okay, prolapsed anuses, fine.
Absolutely fine.
Titanic, no. Too far. This is a scathing indictment of society told from the viewpoint of a downtrodden man with a thirst for revolution, and as such the music follows suit. With the absence of post-production and overdubs, improvised lyrical delivery and performances captured in single takes, this is Monolith at their most honest, emotive, and entirely committed to delivering the concept at hand. With all of the previous releases, The Price of Their Heaven is recorded, mixed, and mastered by the band's guitarist Rob Gibbons and self-released under Nightmarcher Records. So as you said, we reviewed all 3 releases from last year, which was a pretty interesting ride.
Also they got to the stage where like we were surprised when a month had went past that we hadn't reviewed the Monolith album. So like sending them little emails going, "You okay, guys? Okay, buddy? You okay, buddy?"
All 3 albums were connected to each other, obviously, but showing like a different style from the band on each release.
It's kind of matched it from a concept perspective. The change in style matched the narrative being told, which would appear to be the case here as well, Dave.
For sure. Initially, when they reached out though about this new album, they dropped a new single in kind of mid-October. So when I heard that track, I thought, right, okay, the band's going back to the kind of more kind of deathcore side of their sound. Cool. Completely, expecting the new album to be in that vein also.
Foolish Dave with his... You know what happens? We said this last night. What happens when you assume, Dave?
Mug, Duncan.
you make a cunt of yourself. I think that's the phrase, isn't that the popular phrase? You make a cunt of yourself.
All the kids are
and you make me a cunt.
Yeah.
For being associated with someone that she's made a cunt of themselves.
Yeah.
So.
They pulled old switcheroo, Duncan.
We've all been there.
That was clearly just a standalone single, not on the album at all.
Maybe it was, I don't know, Deathcore Tuesday or something like that. Where like that, like we'll set ourselves a challenge. I would not put it past these guys.
Yeah,
we have an hour. Do you think we can record, master, mix, and release a Deathcore song by next Tuesday? And they were like, let's do it, and they just did it. And Dave painted a whole album. Dave made a whole album in his imagination of what that was going to sound like, and then they just did it to fuck with you, Dave.
Yeah. Can you imagine their group chat? I bet you they're just like opening up and it's like, Rob, sent you a new track, guys. And everyone's like, oh, fuck's sake, Rob, again? You've been fucking writing more music, for God's sake.
I see, the thing about it is, like, generally, like, when we discuss bands, the kind of dramatic shifts, especially in back-to-back albums, can sometimes lose me. Because I don't know what I don't know what band I'm listening to. Monolith have managed to, not speaking about this album because we're going to come to that, but on the three preceding conceptually linked stories, the thing that stood out to me was the bit that we always came back to was how many seeds were planted in that first release that appeared back through, just like a hint. By the time you got to the last release, we were referencing stuff all the way through it. And it blew my mind that not only you get that generally lyrically, you don't tend to get it musically. The fact that they pieced all that out just really did make me kind of fall in love with them, to the point where, like, literally had this album been like an ode to Incubus ballads, I would have been in already just because Monolith were doing it. You know what I mean? I'd be like, that I want to hear how this fucking goes. I'm prepared to travel quite far with this band, regardless what style they go to. And I think you're about to touch on it. They're very, very, very good at making it sound like what they're playing. They've been playing that style for like the last three albums.
That's all what we've done.
Don't know how they do it, Dave. Don't know how they do it.
This album is not a deathcore release in the slightest. This is a hardcore release. And it's worth saying they've touched on hardcore a little bit in the past. I'd say Hornet's Nest, while mainly being on the kind of death metal side of things, does have a streak of that hardcore running through it. However, The Price of Their Heaven has no death metal.
No. Don't need it, Dave. How many times have I said it? What is this in my shopping basket here? A death metal? I don't need a death metal this week. I'm just going to put it back up there.
This is a hardcore album. However, what I would say is I feel like this album's energy is on a similar level to Hornet's Nest. But where Hornet's Nest, and even like and the Black Cradle and stuff as well, had a lot of like crossover in style. The Price of Their Heaven doesn't really do that. It does kind of stick within that kind of hardcore / melodic hardcore kind of lane for its entirety. And actually, it's probably one of their most
straightforward.
It's straightforward, but one of their most kind of honest and most believable performances. Like when I listened to this, I was like I was getting this huge feeling inside was telling me, right, hardcore has clearly been a big influence on these guys and the members of this band. This doesn't feel like a style they are just kind of like turning their hand to.
You can't. We talk about hardcore. It's one of the reasons you love it so much, and one of the reasons I've grown to love it.
Fake it,
more that you literally can't. Like, you can instantly tell a disingenuous hardcore band
for sure.
Like straight, like it's like punk. You can instantly tell a disingenuous punk band. And you can see like who's doing it as a fucking like as an outfit. And who actually has it in the rib cage. You know what I mean? So. Yeah,
they've clearly been listening to this music for a long time, and it would not surprise me if they've been in hardcore bands in the past before Monolith, because I wouldn't say this album is like like an of the moment type hardcore album either. Not like this is not a Knocked Loose or a Kubla Khan type album. Yeah,
no dog barks on this one. No two-step, Dave.
Nope.
No.
Monolith are showing influences or inspiration even from hardcore bands of 20 plus years ago.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Converge in here.
Mm-hmm.
There's a bit of kind of like Shai Hulud in here.
Mm-hmm.
Even like a bit of, I was catching a little bit of like Ignite in here, who are more on the like melodic side. But my point is those bands are all 90s hardcore bands. They've been on the scene for a long time. And a lot of this album channels that same feel and kind of time period. And I love that. Like, I grew up on 90s hardcore. That was my thing.
I guess, like, do you think they've just got like you accidentally at some point like put up a photo on Facebook and your CD collection was in the background? Because I just feel like every album there's a clear kind of red web to Dave's like youth.
For sure.
Like papered through every Monolith release where there's just a bit where they're like that, and Dave will love this. Like here we go.
But I love it. Like, I think it's really authentic. It's full of like, this is full of character. It's no frills. And where a lot of bands, especially in hardcore, would be all about like, you know, where we're going to add the breakdown, or, you know, we're going to build this into something slow and heavy. Monolith often go in like a slightly different direction. What I'll say is that there are heavy sections on this. You know, there's moments in here like scattered through the album that will give you that like satisfying headbang, like absolutely. But I feel like their ace on this album is the opposite, where they go in favor of melody. And when I say melody, it's not in like a hooky. This isn't like a 4 Year Strong kind of, you know, Rise Against kind of, not that kind of melody. Monolith kind of doused that melody in something darker. It never feels happy melody.
No.
But let's face it, this band, I've never been a band that writes happy music. Like, if you listen to their previous albums.
You just heard what the concept is here. Yeah. This is just before the end of the world, Dave. So, I mean, ain't a lot to be happy about then.
No, absolutely not. And again, like their previous albums, there feels like there's a narrative in there. You can hear the kind of story changing as you go through the album. That's what I loved about like the Black Cradle and stuff, was just that shift, like that it took you through that journey. It was awesome. And this album does the same thing. As it kind of progresses, you hear them experiment more with the bleaker melody, those kind of melodic tones coming through. Sometimes it's just like a set of chords they're using, or some lead work they've put in, or something a bit more restrained. And actually, like, I hadn't noticed it straight away, but it wasn't until I was kind of making notes on the album as I was listening to it, and specifically tracks 4 and 5 are called Do and The, and I was like, those are fucking weird names for songs. And then it wasn't until I thought about it, I was like, and I looked at the track list and I was like,
literally the first thing I put. I love it. Like you and me, like, just approached like things completely different. It was the first thing I noticed. I was like, the message is right in the name of the track. So.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, wait a minute, each track's a separate word and it's spelling out a full thing, and it spells out what meaningful choice do the people have left except apathy or violence. So each track is a single word. I was like, see what I've done there? That's very clever. Which, as I mentioned, is part of the narrative and takes place before their previous 5 albums, which again I really like. There's always a lot of thought goes into a Monolith release, both like conceptually and lyrically, so that all fits together.
Stylistically as well, because you could argue that everything that if this is a prequel, every album that comes after this sounds more dystopian and heavy.
Yep.
Definitely. Which, once again, is just like needlessly clever.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It's too clever. It's too clever for its own good, Dave.
Yeah.
It's suspiciously clever. That's what I'm going to put out there. I'm fucking on to these guys, right?
But as I was saying, the melody they infuse in this album is great. And although like they have used melody before, like on the Black Cradle, this feels more like more emotionally charged, especially on tracks like People, track 6, which really like kind of delves into this real kind of like somber feeling, and as a killer kind of like centerpiece to the album. But they never like hold on to it for too long that it kind of like slows the album down. The second half of the album actually kicks off in a really big way, with a track called Have, which really like it channels that hardcore punk ethos. It's rapid, it's snarly, there's lots of like gang vocals. And actually, I need to mention Luke, his performance on this, because like we're used to hearing him hit these like low gutturals on like the previous releases, or even like the more blackened stuff he did on the Black Cradle.
Yeah, high range, low range. But does this dude have a mid range, Dave?
Yes, he fucking does, Duncan.
Jesus Christ.
Because this album, he is kind of like sitting somewhere in between. And the tone of his voice on this is just like nasty. It is like he's taken all the kind of technique and the character of what he's done prior to this and sculpted like the perfect hardcore vocal. And
it's a scathing vocal. It's he scorched earth vocal.
Yeah, his fucking larynx must be torn to fucking shreds.
I bet he can just do this like. He like just comes across as one of those vocalists that just like can just dial it in whenever he needs to.
I mean, to be fair, they've had a year off, so I mean, he's only done one album this year. I mean, he's kind of slacking actually. But
that's our takeaway from. Well, we'll knock a point off it, Dave, because it's the only album. We're at the end of the year. I mean, what kind of bullshit is this?
But yeah, as an album, it hangs together so well. And like as I said, it's fairly straightforward. It's not like overly extravagant. They don't try to be overly technical on this, which we know they can do because we've heard them do it on previous albums. But I don't think they have to be on this album. I think the way they've played it feels more authentic. Sometimes they give you, sometimes they give you like a little hint of what might be coming next. Like they've done that in the past, like a little track. Oh, maybe they're going to go more blackened or whatever. Throw in something different in a different style, but they don't really do that on this one. They keep it fairly kind of true.
Well, we know what comes next, so.
Well, unless the only thing I was thinking was, Duncan, a little bit of acoustic guitar on track 10, which means country album coming next.
That might be the step where I like
Here we go.
disengage. But what I mean is like you're saying that like the stuff that kind of like hints on that heavier sound conceptually does come later. So
yeah, well, technically, in the case of this,
always have to deal with the universe. These guys are world builders. Right?
We know what comes next, but I mean, what new stuff comes next after this? You know, like what they're going to release next. After
I have no idea where they go next.
Prequel to the prequel? Is it going to be a fucking sequel to the sequel? I don't know, Duncan.
Requel, Dave. Requel. Come on, get with industry trends. It's a requel. Yeah.
Last thing I want to mention, and it's one of my favourite things about this album, and that is the production.
Oh, yes.
Is there no genre this man can't produce?
And make it sound like that's what he does?
Yeah. Rob Gibbons, his name is, guitarist in the band. Give him his full name.
Like, apparently we deal with him like he's James Bond.
Rob Gibbons. Producer, guitarist. Sexy bastard.
Shagger.
No matter what style this band opts for, he nails the production. Deathcore, black metal, Swedish death metal. It's like he finds the best possible way to present each style to you. And on this, he has captured that hardcore essence perfectly. Like everything
about it. I've got a theory on this, Dave. One word for you.
One word.
DeLorean. I think this cunt's got a DeLorean, right? I think he's just back to. I think he just goes back to the era, sits with the producers all the time, picks up their other tricks of the trade, travels back, then does an album.
Yeah, that would check.
All of them sound so authentic to the genre.
Yeah,
it's nuts.
Yeah, like the drums on this are fucking awesome. Like there's the kind of tracks that are a wee bit more restrained. So I think it was People and Apathy. I think were the two tracks. Really let you appreciate the drum tones on this, like how organic they sound. Like so good. The mix is spot on right across the board. The bass cuts through, never feels like it's lost. Track 11, which is called Or, the bass is coming through really nice. It sounds so good. It kind of take a little bit more of a kind of lead role on that track. It sounds excellent. The guitars are heavy, but also kind of nuanced in those quieter, more kind of intimate parts as well. Just
the melody in the guitars shines right through with ease against everything that's in the background. So
insane. I'm going to shut up now. Like I've said before, Monolith might be the most underrated band in the UK right now.
Yeah, let me start off by saying I 100% agree. The first thing I asked you before we even started recording was, because I don't do the PR, so Dave reads.
Duncan.
Dave reads.
Reading is for fools, Duncan.
I don't have time for that. You know what I mean? I'm too busy saving the world, Dave. But the first thing I said to Dave is like that. Is this the same? Like, is this the same Monolith? And Dave's like, and I was like that. I'll tell you right now, my appreciation for this album just went up a notch. There weren't many notches left, Dave. Like a fat man trying to put on a belt. There's only so many notches you can use. Yeah. But like, I find it difficult to talk about. Well, to overstate how remarkable this release is in the context of what this band has done before. And like some people, and I've used this argument before, like when you approach an album, you really should be, it's difficult, but you should be wiping the slate clean. Even if it's a band you really like, you shouldn't be carrying a ton of, well, they used this and like this, like that baggage in. But it's hard not to, especially when you really like a band and you gel with a band's sound on an album. It's hard not to then listen to anything that comes after and pick all the ways it doesn't sound like the thing you love. The interesting thing about Monolith is within a year they gave us like everything. Like basically the kitchen sink of extreme music, right? It was absolutely everything in there. And as a result of that, I never really, because you delved before, so I've never done the two albums before the trilogy. So to me, they're a band that conceptually are very, very heavy, very, very, very clever, but first and foremost have an idea and, like I say, world build around that idea. So to take this into kind of perspective here of what they've done here, and it's weird because you think back to, well, you mentioned like a bunch of bands and a bunch of time frames there, and the angst that was surrounding that, whether that's kind of pre 9/11, and you're thinking about things like Kosovo and, you know, like refugee crises that were there at that time, or you're thinking kind of post 9/11, which is, you know, international war on terrorism, like extreme racism towards religion and all the fallout that's come there. And then you fast forward to where we are now. I am surprised that you're forever saying, oh, this is a year of hardcore. And I would argue that, there's a lot of great hardcore out there, but the hardcore that I hear isn't necessarily the hardcore that should be around in a time like this. The world is fucked, right? It is like, when we're recording it, like future generations will find this thing as an archive online and watch it. And I'm here to tell you that the world that you live in right now with fucking global warming, and you probably live in an underground city, and you know there is no money now. The machines rule it. Like the concepts that kind of dystopian future is closer than it's ever been. Like the doomsday clock is so close to midnight, it's scary, right? That like that authentic, like with a point, I need to make hardcore, which isn't just I support my friends, I support my family. But like that, the kind of the like everything that we hold sacred and dear is in jeopardy being lost. That hardcore isn't really around much, and Monolith have just been like, I'll take that challenge and delivered it here. There is a lot of lyrical themes here. I'd love the band to say that I'm wrong here, but there's a lot of lyrical themes that I personally feel are related specifically to the landscape of the news that we're in right now. This might be fiction to the band and the way they craft it, but there are lyrics in here that evoke like the violence and protests we've seen on the streets around things like Israel and Palestine, or like the kind of rise of the far right. There's all the way through this, and it's sung with such conviction that when you read basically what the song titles are collectively together, that is literally it. And that's the ethos of hardcore and punk. At the end of the day, you've two roads to do. You either live with what you've got and be miserable, or you fight. You might not win, but you've tried to change something. So the choice between apathy and violence really is a choice for whether or not you believe people can be rationalized and reasoned with, or whether or not it takes a statement to force a focus. And they've really just nailed it. I can't stress this enough. Like, you listen to this all the way through. Had you told me this was a remaster of a kind of late 90s hardcore album, I would have been like, oh, fuck, like this hidden gem. I would have believed it, man, so hard. Because I just got like lifted like a fucking, like a Fairground claw machine claw grabbing a teddy. I just got transported back like 20 odd years. You know what I mean?
The Lighthouse Family, Duggan, yep. Lifted.
We can be lifted. Like lifted, Dave. I had a music teacher that when he was trying to
as well, actually, wasn't it?
It was the 90s because I was
the 90s.
The Lighthouse Family is painfully 90s. We had a music teacher that was trying to teach us musical theory and song construction, and Lifted was always the track that he did, because when he played it on the piano as well, and his point was when he says lifted, the music lifts.
Yeah.
But we'd always do the Elton John eyebrow when he was doing it. We would be playing on the piano, we lifted. We get the point. The track moves up. But like, asides aside, like to me, what Monolith have done here is nothing short of remarkable. In a world where I already thought they'd kind of achieved almost the impossible by delivering like a perfect trilogy of albums that really conceptually managed to deliver what the concept was without it being a loose idea with tracks that never fit. Merge styles that fit rimmed that, but somehow never lost. Like, concept albums can be a kind of a rod for their own back, in that the band gets lost in trying to tell the concept, they can take their eye off the music. But if you spend too much time trying to craft the music, sometimes the story of the concept doesn't come through. They managed to like remarkably nail both, and they've done it again here. Right, this to me feels like the cries of the crowd before it all turns to shit. It's so well crafted. You mentioned the production; it's phenomenal. The songs work so well together. The melody and the guitar is so fucking good. It's sort of like just gives it that kind of melodic hardcore stab that you need. But like you say, it's tinged with despair. Like the music is is cloaked in this. There's a reason that the cover, all the album artwork before was bright and colourful. This one is a black and white photo. Like, it's just all that shit. It fucking tickles my tits, man. Like, all the stuff, the attention to detail beyond just writing songs for this band is what elevates them in my eyes. Like, once again, what can these guys not do? And I would say, like, I genuinely think, like, when we speak, our attention is distracted sometimes by the shiny thing, and there's a lot of shiny things right now in the British music scene. I would say there are still a lot of people that just don't know, are overlooking, and need to find time to sit down and listen to Monolith. I'm going to double. I think they are the most interesting band right now. And the last year and a half, they've given us 4 albums, Dave. Those 4 albums have been completely fucking different, but all been exceptional in what they did. And they've made it sound like that's what they do. Like, we've always done hardcore. We've always done black and deathcore. It's so easy for them, and that blows my mind. It should not be that easy. Otherwise, you're that fucking good, and I refuse to believe that people are that fucking good. I just don't. There's something. I'm just saying, there's something going on here, Dave. And me and you,
I'll get to the bottom of this, Duncan.
We're going to get to the bottom of it, and I think the only way we do that is we get this Rob guy on a call. We get him with the hard questions, like, who is your favourite Pokemon? Well, let's fucking get him in here, Dave. Let's find out.
Okay, so final thing, scoring of the new Monolith album. Where does this sit in the
hard to compare, Dave. This is the problem. This is what they do. This is how they do it, and this is why they want to fuck with you, because they're like, what do you do now, Dave? How do you handle this?
I feel like they hit the highest note on that last album, on the Black Cradle. That for me was like
prolapse.
Yeah. Yeah, it was, yeah. Serious repairs needing done.
Some of us didn't do it, and we just bought expensive cushions.
It was insanely good. This album, again, like it's they don't do bad albums. I think this one, for me, I think it's on par with Lord of the Insect Order, which was the second album out of the three last
middle
year.
One. Yep.
So I'm going to score it the same as that album, which was a 4.5 out of 5. I think it's that good. Just like keep doing what you're doing, and I look forward to the country album. Duncan, what are you scoring this one?
I literally thought you were going to say I look forward to the cunt. I was like, Jesus. Is there a trade that I didn't know? Is that why we're reviewing so many albums? There's been some sort of barter behind the scenes here. Yeah, like you, like the Black Cradle for me is like is an album that I don't like. I think the band almost made it impossible to like. Everything is just so. It's just so good on that album that I don't think they'll ever top it. I think as hardcore albums go, this is top tier, man. I really, really like it. And the world of Monolith, I would agree, it's a 4.5. And I don't mean that as it's a step back. I mean as in like you've achieved something that up until 2 weeks ago when the album came in, I didn't think you could do.
Yeah.
Like the last, like I would have thought that the tendency to slip into deathcore trappings would be all over this. And they don't do it. They stick true and honest to the genre, and it comes across as true and honest, which means to me this is exactly what they wanted to do, and they had something to say. So this is a 4.5 from me.
Nice. Monolith, check this band out, please. Start listening to this band.
Yeah,
Someone.
Yeah.
Links below. Check out the band.
We have people that stop us at gigs now, Dave, and say, I heard you say this about a band, and I checked out the album, and you guys were right. All I'm saying is more people should be like that anonymous person at a gig somewhere that did that, and just listen to us. And if we're saying that this is worth your time, even if you don't like hardcore, fucking check the album out. Stop being a dick.
The price of their heaven is out.
The price is right. That's what it is, Dave. I'm just trying to get us up to the runtime of the album here, which I think we might be at. So I'm going to take that as a win, Dave.
Okay.
A win.
Out on the 5th of December on Nightmarcher Records. Check out the links. Have a listen to the band. Let us know what you think. Happy to hear your thoughts and opinions on it. That's the review. Thanks for checking out. We'll be back with another review very soon. But until then, take care. We'll catch you on the next one.
Bye, everyone.